I am delighted
Awesome.
today to be joined by Head from Love and Death and obviously from Korn, but we are here mainly today to talk Love and Death. You just dropped the video for Down. It's been a while since we've heard from Love and Death until 2020. When did the nucleus of writing this album come together, Head? Was this something that was pandemic induced, or were you already writing this record? Where were you on all things Love and Death?
We were always writing because I started working with Jason in 2011. Jason Rao from Breaking Benjamin, and he was at the time just producing. He was writing. He had some co-writes like with "I Will Not Bow," Breaking Benjamin, and some cuts on that record. And so Ben asked him to join. I don't know, what was it around 2013, 2014, and so we kept. He's on the road, I'm on the road, and we kept messaging and writing and getting together like every year or so and be like, let's finish this, let's put out another record, because we love the aspect of that. It's a different sounding project, and we can get away with things that we normally wouldn't in our other bands, and so we really love it. It's a passion project thing. I think you guys mentioned that on a Knotfest post. It is really a passion project. And so we wrote half of the record from 2014 to about 2019, and then we wrote the other half thanks to COVID.
Yeah, right. I can understand that. Does it speak volumes about how happy you were with Jason as a producer that he is now part of the band? Like, was he such an integral part to the last record that you felt compelled to have him even further involved with all things Love and Death?
Yeah, it's really cool because normally I don't think we would have the time to do it, but we have time now, and I love his whole vibe, and he split the producing work with a guy named Joe Rickard, who was a drummer for In Flames. Just the last, like, he just quit like a year ago, and he's full on like mixing and doing studio work now, and he was in the band Red too back in the day, and so he came in and helped Jason produce that, and so Jason could actually have a lot more time to play bass, play guitar, do music videos, do some press, he's just jumping in, which is cool, because before I feel like it was more of my project. It's like,
Yeah.
Brian from Korn solo deal. It's more of like a band, and there's a lot of different, like, just writers and people that are giving a lot into it, like J.R. Barais, the other singer in the video. I met him when he was 15, and he joined us, and so I took this kid under my wing and like kind of raised him in this music world. And so to see him step up and to do vocals and to write so much on the record, it's been really cool.
What really interested me, something you said earlier on there, is you said that there were appeals to each of the members that were involved with other projects beforehand. Like finding other creative outlets away from your other bands. What is different about the way you write for Love and Death than the way you write for Korn? Like, what are you to quote you, getting away with Love and Death in the way that you don't with Korn?
Well, I feel like I like to go a little bit more lighter on the melodies, more prettier, more. I mean, we're doing a cover song on this record that's a pop song, and so so Korn wouldn't be able to get away with that, I don't think. Korn, Breaking Benjamin, our other bands that we're in, those are that's our family, and that's our heart too. But this
Yeah.
is just a project that we love to do, and we would love to tour it. We'd love to go out and tour it. And I mean, like, a lot of the vocals I can't do, in Korn, and I like to sing. I don't love to sing, but I like to sing a little bit. That's why I switched to giving J.R. Barais more vocals. So, and like, there's a song called White Flag where it's really cinematic. It closes the record. It's really cinematic, and then a guitar part starts, and then it goes all screamo, like screamo music, and just heavy, and it's just a different style than Korn, you know. And I absolutely love Korn is my number one, you know. But this is really fun to do it with just my friends. I've got to know when I was outside of Korn, I made a lot of friends, and this is what I'm doing with my friends outside of Korn. It's really fun.
Does it feel less pressured? Because with Korn, there are like tens of millions of us around the world waiting like with bated breath every time Korn do absolutely anything. Does this feel like a bit of a breather? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit, I can understand why it'd be a bit less pressured and a bit more fun to do something that is like, okay, this is for people that want to see a further extension of this massive thing that I'm part of.
I think so, man. I mean, look at Corey does. You know, Corey's been doing two bands his whole career pretty much. And,
Yeah.
you know, Maynard's all over the place. There's all kinds of people that do it, and it's like, it's just, it's what we live and breathe, right? Music.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, enough. I could be sitting at home and watching TV, or I could be creating and doing some different types of art, you know, and that's what this is. It's just we love music, and my kid's 22 years old. You know, Monkey's got a 1-year-old. You know, he's having kids, and Jonathan has younger kids. Fieldy's got younger kids. I don't. I got nothing but time. So,
Gotcha.
So I'm just doing what I love, bro.
I tell you what, man, what is super interesting about the evolution of Love and Death is last time out when you were releasing that record, the world wanted to know what you were desperate to know what you had to say because your life had taken such a massive transition, right? Like we saw you on stage in Korn, you disappeared for a bit, and then you came back into the public eye, and Love and Death felt like a voice for the discoveries that you'd made at that point in time. How does that voice evolve on another record? And am I right with that? Did the first album feel like, wow, there's a lot of weight on what I'm going to say at this point in time?
Go ahead and say that last sentence because you broke up or you went robot.
No worries. I meant like when that first record came out, like did it feel like a pressured, like the world is waiting with bated breath to hear what I have to say at this point in time because my life's taken so many radical changes? And how does that evolve onto album 2?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Thank you. I think it was there was a lot that I wanted to say, but you know, mainly it's very similar in the point where, you know, a lot of bands and people like us and Korn, Slipknot, you know, all these bands out there, Deftones or whatever, there's a lot of lyrical content about, you know, suffering or mental illness or, you know, relationships, you know, deteriorating or whatnot. We sing about pain a lot. The first record, there was a lot of that in there, but there were some, you know, I was just kind of wrestling with this new life and, you know, wanting to share what happened to me, but also being true to myself. I've always been an emotional person that struggled with sadness and depression at times, and I used the music even on that first record to speak on that, and I use this new record I think even more, and because we had co-writers too. I didn't write all the lyrics on this, and it just feels like the atmosphere in the air in 2020, you know, we picked up on that, and there's a lot of lyrical content that can, you know, go, it has I'd say the subject matter of what a lot of people are dealing with in 2020 with the pandemic, with the racial injustice, with the broken homes because of everything going wrong, and we're stuck at home with us and our family, and we're seeing the good, bad, and the ugly even more. So I think a lot of that came out in the record. I think people can get a lot of different things from it, but the transition from last record to this record, I think it's very similar, and I think it's a natural progression.
Does religion play as much of a part, Head? Because that was the big talking point when Love and Death emerged last time. Like, it felt like religion was so front and centre with anything that anyone wanted to talk to you about at that point in time. How big a role does it play this time out?
Yeah, well, I am. My whole foundation is my fighting this depression and my struggles in life and Christ and trying to really know Him to battle these things in my life and to really believe in that. And that's still exactly what I live for, and I love that every aspect of it. But it's not. I don't think it's in your face as much on this record than the last record. I have always tried to not have it in your face with music, because music is art, and some songs more than others, I think. But even on the first record, there's a lot of just, feeling stuck and feeling buried under the cloud of depression or whatever it is, or, and some songs would be like reaching out, like, save me from this, I don't want to live like this or whatever, my disaster, under the heavy weight of my disaster, I would sing about. And so I think that my personal life with spiritually is very important to me, but it's not like just plastered into the music. And I've never wanted to be that annoying person, right? Because some people don't want to hear it, right? And so, I share it in a way that's unique for me. And so, yeah,
I understand that, and like I admire your honesty with talking about depression as well, because like, does it get frustrating that people would look at like Korn headlining a festival, right, and there you are rocking out with your friends of 25 plus years, and kind of go, what does that person have to be depressed about? Right? Like, it makes me respect you even more that you come out and you say that I struggle with this sort of thing. But how do you make people understand that you're just a regular dude like everyone else with the same headspace as everyone else, even if your situation is not the same as everyone else?
Yeah, totally. It's crazy because I've heard all the comments and and it's like you hear the people are like, they have everything, what are they bitching about or whatever. But mental illness and depression, it doesn't matter. Like the end all isn't to have stuff in life, and I'm very thankful for the blessings that I've had, that I have, and I've lost so much and I've gained so much, and so I'm very thankful for that. But there is an emotional cloud, like a dark cloud that can come over the rich or come upon the poor. And you've seen it. How many, like, there's actors, there's musicians that have taken their lives, and it's, the stigma is disintegrating because it's a real thing, and it's an epidemic all over the world, depression and whatnot. Now, it's not crippling me anymore. I know how to deal with it. I know how to talk about it, and I know what steps to take. So it's not like I'm buried by it anymore, but I use the music to talk about it because I have power in that, because I've overcome a lot of that. And so I have the power and the story to sing about it to help others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's fucking great, man. And for that to be part of the narrative, because what's interesting is to look at where public perception is of you personally, like this time out. Like, this has been a really successful couple of years for Korn, right? The last two records have been fucking brilliant, really well received as well. Like, the live shows, seeing songs from those records and people as excited about them as they are about the earlier shit. It feels like life's in a better place this time around, whereas the last time around you felt like you were in a good place, like you were talking positivity and all the rest of it, but because we'd seen all these seismic changes in your life, everyone was a bit like, is Head all right? Was that difficult? Was that difficult to deal with? Because your vibe was like, I'm positive, man. Like, be with me on this.
Dude, that's so funny. You're right. You're so right. Look, man, I've had quite the journey, and I look back at myself, and I kind of laugh with everybody because, there was a point where, like, I looked a little crazy, right? But inside, I think I was high on life,
Yeah.
And I was really genuine about that. I'm like, I'm really feeling it, and so, but there comes a time when balance takes place, right?
Agreed.
And I feel like I got that balance, and I feel like I've settled back into my own skin, and I'm very comfortable, and I'm back like who I was. I'm not over the top one way or the other. I'm
Gotcha, yeah.
settled. And I think you can see it in the new Love and Death music, the new video, even in the new Korn music, especially, that we're just like gelling in a good way now. And we've walked through some great times together since I've been back, and we've also walked through some very hard, difficult times, And I just want to tell you that we have some exciting things coming in 2021, and so me and my Korn brothers, man, that's been the best thing in my life, to be back with them and just and to walk through the good and the bad times with them and create art together. But thank you for saying that about the last couple Korn records too, and we just have such exciting things to come next year, and I'm so excited for that, dude. I can't begin to tell you. I'm in this space where I feel so lucky to be able to be, I just turned 50, and we're putting out these Korn records, and I get to do this Love and Death project. And if you would have told me in the early days of Korn that I'd be doing all this at this age, and still like just connecting with our fans and all of that, I'd never believed it. I would have said I'll be dead at 45 or what, you know what I mean? We're just dumb kids at that point. So I'm so lucky, man. And 2021 is going to be a year of greatness and fire for all of us, man. It's going to be so amazing. Please let the shows happen.
Oh, fingers crossed, man. It's killing me. I got a couple of more questions for you for that Korn Love and Death crossover, because I don't know if you hear this kind of comparison a lot, but you and Monkey are the closest thing, in my opinion, that metal has had to the Rolling Stones guitar dynamic. Bear with me on this, in that neither of you play rhythm or lead. Both of you play different things that interact and intertwine with one another, and like when that element changes, everything changes. So when you take your nucleus of that away and you start writing for Love and Death, how does your riffing change when you're writing for Love and Death? Because there's bits where we can go, there it is, there's the head sound that we know, but you like to go into other terrains as well. Does that make it super interesting, writing in two different ways, or am I off with how you write?
I want to say this, that I didn't write much on the Love and Death,
Right,
I
okay.
didn't write much. I do some overdubs. I'm saying I didn't write a lot. Most of the music was written by JR or Jason. I wrote a lot in the lyrics, but there was a collaborative effort. There's sometimes 5 people writing the lyrics on each song, on one song, Sometimes there's 2, but the music, I gave that duty to the kid, JR. He wrote a lot of these guitar riffs on that record. Now, maybe he was like my little child when he was 15 touring with me.
Yeah.
Maybe influenced him a lot, and it has a little, like, you can hear some of the I did play on the record. I did add my nuances. So that's probably what you're hearing. And I think that's just me, that comes out from inside of me. So, but I feel like I feel like it is different enough that the Love and Death music will stand on its own, and as a different type of sound. But yeah, that kid came to the table, and I pushed him. I pushed him to I just bring out the gold in that kid. It's like it's time for you to step up. Bring your shit to the table and let's do this record. And so I think he really showed up.
Love that, man. Love that. So come back in a couple of months when the record's about to drop, and we'll talk about the album itself extensively. But people are going to lynch me if I let you go without asking at least a couple of things Korn orientated. Head, where the fuck are Korn in the streaming world, man? Everyone's been doing these big live streams. Why have Korn not done one?
Well, we actually were talking about it, and we were doing this and that, and with management, and like I said earlier, these guys got young kids running around, and
yeah,
and what are they going to do? Just leave their wives with the homeschool stuff? I am impressed with my Korn brothers. They're stepping up and doing school with their kids.
That's amazing,
bro. We have toured. Korn has toured for 25 years. I left Korn for 8 years and got to chill at home. These guys haven't taken a break. These guys are taking this time to be family men, to be great fathers. And, who's to say we won't do something soon? I don't know. Or early next year? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I, these guys, I'm telling you, they are the best fathers. And I'm proud of them. So that's probably the reason, family first.
I love that. I love that as well. And we'll talk to you in 2021. Good luck with Christmas. I hope you have a brilliant one. And honestly, Head, the fact that you were asking about how we're doing before starting this chat speaks volumes about what a stand-up bloke you are. So thank you so much for taking the time today, Head. Appreciate it, mate.
Of course, man. I love people, and I want to see how everyone's doing. And this year's been crazy, but we're gonna make it through.
Yes, absolutely. And here's to a better 2021, Head. See you soon, man.
Hell yes. All right. See you, brother.
Catch you soon, mate. Bye.